Welcome to our Wellness Hub, where I have been interviewing experts in the field of health, wellness, healing, and mindset for many years. I'm your host, Monisi. Today, we have a very special guest, all the way from South Africa. Her name is Hanna Kok. She is a coach with over 30 years of experience in the body-mind-spirit connection. Today, we will focus on what she calls the science of forgiveness. Hanna, thank you for being here. Tell us a bit about yourself and what are your thoughts and teachings surrounding forgiveness. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Well, let me first say thank you for this opportunity and also for your listeners. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this podcast. I really appreciate it. So a little bit about myself. I'm from the Netherlands originally, and for the last 40 years, I've been living in Southern Africa, first in a little country called Lesotho, and later I moved to South Africa itself. And there are lots of opportunities for forgiveness. I've had lots of them in my life, and I've just found for myself that is the best way to move forward and not get stuck in unwanted, undesirable situations, because that is always going to be there. There are always things that we don't like. And then what do you do with it? We can get bitter or better. And if you want to get better, forgiveness is an essential part of that journey. So what I've got to say about forgiveness, I always like to say, well, what is not forgiveness? Because people have ideas about forgiveness that is like, I should be accepting this behavior and I must now let the people back in your life. No, forgiveness is not having to condone other people's behavior. You can still disapprove of it. It does not mean that you have to let the people back into your life. It does not mean that you have to be the person that is, out of the kindness out of your heart, just have to forgive this lonely, unacceptable person. It's not that either. You also don't have to go to that other person and speak to them face to face. Forgiveness is a private affair, and it is all about accepting what has happened and claiming your power back. Because just the other day again, I was speaking to a youngster who has self-esteem issues because what his grandfather did to him. The grandfather is not around anymore, but he's still affected by it. And the only way to set himself free is through forgiveness. And again, not condoning the behavior, but putting it in a different light and realizing, that poor old man was just an unhappy person, and let me get on with learning from the situation and get on with my life.
So you work with both men, women, young people, older, all ages and genders, correct?
I do. I definitely do and have done. At the moment, I am also focusing on women with hormonal imbalances, because holding grudges throws out hormones. So that's why I sort of chose that as a niche. But any person that is struggling with forgiveness is stuck in a situation where they cannot move forward because of whatever happened.
That's so interesting. There is only one kind of forgiveness, or there are different kinds of forgiveness?
Well, there is, in my eyes, only one form of forgiveness. You see, the principle I work with is, first of all, every difficult situation is for me an opportunity to learn and grow. But it goes even deeper than that. I believe, my experience is that my external world is a reflection of the internal world. And there is science to back that up, but we have not enough time to go there. But if you look at it, if I have been treated badly by a burglar or a spouse, they are not respecting me. They don't respect me as a person or my possessions. They don't respect me. Then I'll go back and say, well, how good are you at respecting you? How kind are you when you make a mistake? Or are you harsh on yourself? How good are you at keeping appointments with you? Or do you just put your needs aside to be available to everybody? Those are all things of being disrespectful of yourself, being rude to yourself. And then you get people into your life that feed that back to you. A classical example was with somebody. He was doing maths and I was sitting next to him and he was struggling and he was going like, oh, I'm so stupid, I'm so stupid. And I thought, just show him what he's saying to himself. And so I said to him, yeah, you're really stupid. And he got so angry with me. I said, but you were calling yourself just stupid not even a minute ago. So why can't I treat you the way you treat you? You see? And every time when I ask those questions to my clients, if I say, well, how do you treat you? How unkind are you how disrespectful are you of you? It's like all the time.
So you help people forgive themselves too.
That's part of the journey. That is actually the person we need to forgive most, because now we can see, oh, thank you for showing me what I'm doing, what I want to change. And then you can again choose, are you going to be hard on yourself? Or are you going to say, well, I mean, if you were talking to yourself as if you would be talking to a young child, what would you say? You made a mistake. How can we fix it? How can we correct the mistake? Let's do it again. Why can we not talk to ourselves like that?
Now, there are some examples, there are some incidents in life that are really strong. I know that you went through one. We're not going to mention it, but when somebody hurts in a really bad way, a loved one, and you have this feeling that you want to have revenge somehow deep inside, and you want the other person to have to suffer the same way or worse than what you're suffering. And so that would be eye for an eye, which is the natural way of humans to react to something really bad that happens to us. So how do you deal with that?
Well, first of all, you must realize if we do eye for an eye, soon we'll be a country filled with blind people. There are no more eyes because we're all guilty at some stage of something. Now, I'm studying a Course of Miracles, and what they say, everything we do, every action that people have is either an act of love or a cry for love. And that is when we hurt. I mean, only hurt people hurt people. And if we can put it into that perspective, is the fact that they did this to me, it's not about me. It doesn't tell you anything about me. It tells me everything about you and where you are at. You are doing these ugly things to me because you're hurting. And if I can do something to get you to stop hurting, well, first of all, the best thing I need to do is make sure I now don't pass the hurt on to somebody else. So the first thing is to just accept this feels really, really bad. And it's okay that I have feelings of revenge and I could, like, in my mind, I want to do ABC to you. It's okay. You give yourself permission to feel that and have those fantasies for a little bit, because that's our first inclination. But then, and even if you hold these points on your forehead, they are like emotional stress release points just above your eyebrows. And it physiologically pulls you out of stress. It gives you your ability to have your higher wisdom back again. Because when we hurt, we go into survival mode, and that is when we want to do the eye for an eye. And it serves nobody. So we need our higher wisdom back, and we do that by touching these points, sitting with the feeling. And when you breathe and you give yourself permission to feel and you forgive yourself for feeling what you're feeling, then you get calmer. And then you can start looking at, like, okay, what does this tell me? What does tell me something about me? What does that tell me about how I'm treating me? What does that tell me of where I want to grow? So you make it a focus on the growth process instead of on the pain. And then forgiveness becomes much easier.
And so, and I know that this topic is so complex, but you already gave one little tip, but another tip that you can offer to our audience regarding forgiveness.
The main tip that I have for people is take time after you've calmed down, take time to analyze what is the gold that you got from this. Like, is it now you change direction and actually you're now living a more fulfilled life? Is it that you realize, oh, well, this person was actually toxic for me anyway, a good reason to get out of here, or hey, it's time to be really nice to myself. There's always gold to be found. And when you focus on that, you'll find it. And all that brown stuff that happened, you use as fertilizer for your life. So you get better instead of bitter.
I love that. You get better instead of bitter. So many people, they become bitter and bitter instead of, and at the end is letting go. It's letting go. It's like understanding the other person was hurt and they hurt you.
But I do have something, that's another tip that I have for your listeners, is that if they go to hannakok.com, they can now get access, they can sign up for the iThrive, for the hormonal balance, which includes some of the forgiveness stuff. And it's subliminal. They're subliminal messages. You can play them audibly so you can hear exactly what I am saying, but you can play them super softly. And then start letting go of your anger, your frustration, and all those unwanted emotional gunk that we have stored in the body. Having mental hygiene. Now, when you have mental hygiene, when you have more loving thoughts, it becomes much easier to move beyond the pain. So if your listeners go to hannakok.com, sign up, you'll get an email to say how to access it, and you play these either while you sleep or while you go about your day. So they take only 1 minute out of your time. So there's no reason to say, oh, I don't have time for this. Of course you have time, a minute. You could do it while you're sitting on the toilet, for that matter. You put it on while you sleep or go about your day, and you'll become calmer, more peaceful. And then you also start attracting more calming and peaceful situations in your life.
Yes.
And that is definitely something your listeners can do.
Absolutely. Well, Hanna, I would love to continue talking about this interesting topic, but our time is up. We really appreciate you coming here and showing your passion and knowledge on this topic. The audience will find all your information down below. So make sure that you all subscribe to the channel, and we hope to see you again soon. Until then, goodbye. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.